morning, Toastmasters, and welcome to our guests in the back. And friends, welcome back. When you get up to speak before an audience, whether it's the size of your Toastmaster group or whether it's a crowd of 500 or 1,000, what happens? You become a performer. This stage is yours to create anything you want, to create any kind of feeling that you want, to portray any type of message that you want to your audience. So what type of performer are you? We're going to talk about 3 performers. One of them you probably would not want to be like. This is the performer that is an artist formerly known as, you can probably guess. So what happens when Prince gets up to perform? Prince acts like the audience is beneath him. He comes out, he doesn't smile, he does his performance. The audience sits there, they all love him because he's so talented. He really is. Audiences, even if you don't agree with Prince, you still have to agree he's a very talented person. But he doesn't care anything about connecting with his audience. He wants to perform to them, not for them. When he's done with his song, he doesn't even bow or smile, he just walks off the stage. Prince is very fastidious, and he has no desire to make any kind of connection with his audience at all. Either this is because he's really as confident as he appears, and he just doesn't care, or maybe he's got really low self-esteem, but he overcompensates and he tries to pretend like he's real confident. Like sometimes we do that. We get up to give a speech, and oh my gosh, we're kind of nervous, but we want to pretend like we're a lot more confident than we are. So we don't care about connecting with our audience because we are confident. We are the speaker. So definitely would not want to be like Prince. But who is another person that you would not want to be like? Somebody very likable that you might remember from the Super Bowl this year. Remember him at the Super Bowl? Tom Petty. Tom Petty was asked to sing before the Super Bowl. Can you imagine? You're asked to perform before the Super Bowl. The crowd are just crazy. Oh, it's Tom Petty, it's Tom Petty. This is Tom Petty's comeback. Tom Petty was popular in the 80s. Tom Petty then came back a little bit with Free Fallin' in the early 90s, but then he was kind of forgotten about. But here he is, asked to sing before the Super Bowl. So what happens? Tom Petty gets out there and he's obviously so inhibited, and he's so nervous, and he's singing, but you can tell he's just shaking, and you can tell he's going, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess up. Tom Petty, all he's thinking about, you can tell, is just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But what does he not do? He doesn't have fun with it. Tom Petty is so nervous and so thinking about himself and trying not to mess up that he doesn't connect with his audience because he's not even thinking about having fun. I did notice in the last song, you could tell he finally was like, I'm singing before the Super Bowl. This is kind of fun. But it's almost over, Tom Petty. You only have a minute and a half left, and then it's over. And I could just almost read his mind when he walked off the stage. That's it? Oh my gosh, it's over. I had 12 minutes. And I was nervous through the first 11 and a half minutes. So, you do not want to be like Tom Petty. Who do you want to be like? You want to be like that duo that everybody loved from the late 80s and the early 90s. You want to be like this duo right here. Come on, everybody.
Air Supply. Chicago. Okay, who is it?
You definitely want to be like Air Supply. They were here in concert. They were here in concert in this past winter. Air Supply came out with all the confidence of Prince. They were so confident, but they came out with all the likability of Tom Petty. Their fans loved them. And what did they do? They weren't nervous at all. They were confident, but they connected with their audience. They welcomed all the women who were still fans to come up and take pictures of them on stage while they were singing. They went all the way to the back of the auditorium while they were singing, so the people in the back of the room could feel connected. During songs like that, they would say, "Come on, sing along," and so everybody was swaying them all out of love, and everybody walked out of there going, "Wow, that was great. That was so great." So what did Air Supply do? They connected with their audience. They had fun, but they were also confident. So just remember, whenever you have to give a speech, whenever you're speaking before an audience, breathe deep and think Air Supply.
All right.